Our first guest's new play, God and Stephen Hawking, looks likely to make a very big bang with the critics. It's already been described as one of the most ambitious plays ever mounted. It's dealing with an enormous range of subjects, from astrophysics to sex, love, betrayal and religion. I mean, that's some range.
We can do that in the commercial break, Tom.
Could do.
To tell us about it, we're joined by the actor best known for his roles as Siegfried in the classic TV series All Creatures Great and Small, and as Winston Churchill in The Wilderness Years. But now he's about to take on the most challenging role of his career so far, God. So will you please welcome Robert Hardy? And it is a bit of a challenge, isn't it, Robert?
The idea of playing God, yes. It is. But perhaps the best thing about it is that God also appears as all sorts of other people. Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, a brilliantly written part.
Tell us a bit about it. What's the gist of the plot?
Well, the gist of the plot really is an argument between those who don't believe in a God, a creator, the scientists on the one hand, and God himself, who comes to argue his case.
Now, I mean, we are told that it's probably the most ambitious play, or one of the most ambitious plays ever performed as a four-hander. Is that right? Is it?
I should think that's fair. Yeah, pretty fair description. Certainly, I'm feeling it's pretty ambitious at the moment.
Now, you're in rehearsal at the moment.
Yeah.
Any disasters? Anything?
No, not yet. We've only had about 3 days.
Oh, good.
No, we're busy cutting.
You see,
and rearranging and so on.
You've got a lot to follow, because apparently about 25 million people bought the book, didn't they?
Yes, they did. The first thing I said when I read the script overnight, I mean, it was absolutely riveting. And
who wrote
said, I'd love to do it. Robin Hawdon, H-A-W-D-O-N, not Hawdon as in other Hawdon, Mike, you know. I was arguing. I always argue against what I'm being asked to do, because I want to find out what the best argument for doing it is. So I said to the people, the producers, but is anybody really going to be interested in this whole subject? And Stephen Hawking, I mean, it's all a bit esoteric, a bit difficult. And he said, the producer said, well, he sold 25 million copies of his book.
I mean, if half of them turn up to the play...
Well, if half of them turn up to the play, I shall retire.
Has Stephen Hawking seen it, rather?
Yes, he's seen the copy. Of a copy of the play. What his reaction is, I don't know. I believe he's recorded as having said he reserves his judgment, right, perhaps until we do it. But I should think, probably, my own guess is that he probably feels it's yet a further intrusion of the media into his extremely busy life.
Exactly. What's your personal belief? You know, this God versus science. Where do you stand?
Well, rather where God is trying to persuade people to stand in the play, I think I believe in a creator, some extraordinary, beyond our comprehension act of creation, which more and more, of course, is explained by the scientists. And a lot of people, including some of the scientists, but not all, take that as proof that there is no need for a God. God is arguing that somebody had to kick it off in the first place.
Now, I mean, playing God, I was going to say that playing God really is only a minor step on from other things you've done, because, I mean, to a lot of people, Winston Churchill himself was a kind of a godlike figure. And
Roosevelt was played by Ralph Bellamy, who he played Roosevelt more often and for longer than I played Churchill. And we were there setting up for the scene, and the director was the most adorable, giant Russian bear. Came to me and said, what are you going to say in this scene? And I said, well, I've just happened to have these few words that I remember were used actually there. You say what you like, say what you like. And I came out with this stuff. Ralph Bellamy didn't know what to do. The cameras were rolling. He hadn't prepared for any of this at all.
No, sorry,
yeah, you've obviously played Churchill so much and so on. Has it haunted you?
I don't know whether haunted. I mean, people people say, oh, yes, Siegfried, or some people say, oh, yes, Winston, which is quite a... I think it's a lovely haunt. I don't mind, as long as they say hello and are kind.
I mean, do a lot of people know you were violently ill after smoking all those cigars?
Oh, God.
How did you
I
prepare?
smoked 10,000 quid's worth of cigars during 9 months filming. Wow.
And did you not have to wear things in your nose and in your mouth to...
In England, yes. That's the extraordinary difference in playing Churchill in England, in a long thing that I did, directed by Ferdy Fairfax, called The Wilderness Years. That was my first attempt at the mountain. And the makeup for that, I simply shaved my head 5 o'clock every morning in the bath. I shaved my head with a sort of arrangement of mirrors. And that was it. And it was as if one had said to the British audience, well, I'm trying to be Winston Churchill. Just have patience. And after a bit, they said, OK, go on, go on, go on, and a bit more. And they accepted it. There was... I put on a lot of weight, but that was all. That thing that we've just seen a clip of, in America, the makeup took 5 3/4 hours.
Wow.
So you started from humble beginnings, a spear carrier at 7 quid a week. You were at Oxford with Richard Burton. In fact, I think we can show you with Richard right now. There you are with Richard Burton, and you used to practice Shakespeare when you were in the RAF?
That's absolutely true.
Yeah?
We knew whole swashes of Shakespeare, whole plays, by heart. And we used to rehearse them. We're walking around airfields waiting for the next thing to happen. You know?
So you've gone through all that, spear carrier, Richard Burton, Churchill, and now God. I mean, is there no end to this serialisation?
Well, you see, God and Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, 4 professors of physics at Oxford and Cambridge University, and the Pope. What else do you want? All in the same, all in the same play.
All these people and many others are opening in Bath on August the
21st.
And you're going to various other parts of the country?
Yeah, we go an 8-week tour. Bath. Where do we go next? Oxford. We're going to get thrown at in Oxford, I should think.
And various other, yes, and Guildford and lots of others.
Guildford,
Right now,
Derby.
I'd love to carry on talking. We're slightly out of time, which is a real shame. But, ladies and gentlemen, what an honour to have talked to Robert Hardy. Thanks, Robert.